Welcome to Roll for Crit. I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes. We've got some fun news for you today.
Oh boy.
Of course, this weekend is Spiel. In fact, we'll probably release this while Spiel is just ending. So most of that stuff we're not going to be able to talk about. We had our preview last week. But I recommend if you want to see more, you go on Twitter. People like Board Game Geek and there's plenty of people who are actually there taking pictures and showing things off. And we'll have stuff on our news section as well for new videos and trailers and things like that. But some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today will probably be over there as well. Starting with some new expansions. The first one comes for the Magic the Gathering Arena of the Planeswalkers base game. And why don't you go ahead and just tell me what this is?
Well, this expansion is based off the new set that just came out a few
specifically what this thing is.
About a week. Oh, well, the thing is, the set's called Battle for Zendikar, pretty much the plane Zendikar. This is pretty much we're returning to this plane because right when we left the plane, pretty much these creatures known as Eldrazi, which are pretty much the Cthulian Elder Gods, got out. And as you can guess, they're wreaking havoc.
And they're big.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see on the board, like they dwarf the board.
Yes. They come in all different sizes. Pretty much the idea is they are pretty much annihilating. Like the original ability on the cards, which was deemed too strong, but when they attack,
this is the newest set.
Yes.
And already something was deemed
too
strong?
No, the old ones. The old ones. The old Eldrazi.
That was
like the first time we saw them.
2 weeks after it came out. Recall it!
They had ability as soon as they attacked, like before any damage was dealt or anything, the opponent had to sacrifice a bunch of their cards. Like they just killed off. Wow. So yeah, they were really strong. Because the idea is they're like gods almost.
Well, supposedly,
ironically, a little sets before they literally was a god type card. But
then they didn't use it for this?
No, because they're not actually.
Well, in this new set, they are so strong, in fact, that players are going to have to actually team up. So it actually becomes a one versus all type game system where one person controls this Eldrazi monstrosity.
Yeah, because in the essence, what's happening in the world, the Battle for Zendikar it's the battle. So the entire plane has to sort of unite against this foe. Ironically, I think in the story, one of the Planeswalkers which they're introducing in this set, which we saw before in pictures, is actually sort of not helping out because he got trapped on the plane for his whole backstory and he just wants revenge and he's a black planeswalker. He does what he wants.
That's how it goes sometimes. Yeah. Well, that will be coming out in January unless you are at Essen, in which case maybe you got a chance to try it out already. Maybe you didn't. And there will be ways to, other than the one versus all, you'll be able to use him in the regular game as well. That comes with rules and things like that. More expansions coming. We got Dice Masters, which seems to have expansions every 3 weeks, roughly.
But this is one you're going to like.
Yeah, this one is the new Amazing Spider-Man set. And that's pretty cool. We like Spider-Man over here. And it's going to include characters like Spider-Man.
Really? I did not see him coming.
Kingpin. There's also going to be, in Gravity Feed packs, you'll be able to get Aunt May and Gwen Stacy as playable characters.
Wait, but is Spider-Gwen in this?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
How could
it doesn't seem like Dice Masters plays too much with the newer stuff like that. It seems like they go with things that have rigid stock art they can use. There's also going to be the Sinister Six for the first time. Going to be a new group in here.
I'm sure Venom's going to make a reappearance.
I'm sure, and also
I wonder if the other Venom will.
Oh yeah,
because he's been around for a while.
Yeah, well, there's also there's 3 or 4 Venom people who have been Venom, but
I mean in particular this one actually looks different. Like he actually looks more like
the secret agent suit or whatever. Yeah, I forget what they call him.
And of course there's I'm trying to think of the other Spider-Man. I don't know if they'll use it because like you said he's more new. Miles Morales. Scarlet Spider's been around for a while, so we probably see him. But no, this is gonna be interesting. Definitely because this is it's focused on one hero set.
Right, yeah, as opposed to the other ones. So this is in November.
Because, I mean, even though we had Uncanny X-Men, which actually appeared more than just the X-Men, like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Captain America or other non-directly.
Yeah, there's going to be a few.
But, I mean, the X-Men are a large group.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's one of the reasons why in the cinematic-wise, X-Men works as by itself, because there's already so many different characters you can pull from. Spider-Man is, even though I listed some, I feel like I hit most of them.
He is one of the few that really does have enough stuff going on in terms of characters that are recognizable.
Yeah.
That are unique.
But
to
I
him.
mean, still, I feel like I just listed all of them that are all the other spider people who aren't
spider people, yeah.
Yes.
But there's like
But
you
I
know,
mean, who,
his
I
friends.
said I'm not. I'm very interested to see what like Aunt May and stuff. But I mean, like
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
including all the ones that are just alternate reality versions of him that aren't
Right.
aren't just Peter Parker, but in
there's
noir.
still he's got plenty of villains,
which I do love his noir version. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like I think we've had this conversation. I don't know on Brawl for Crit, but how him and Batman have like the most recognizable rogue galleries.
I think so. I mean, Superman is in the conversation
Yeah.
too, but for sure Batman wins.
But what's also funny is
in
how
terms of Marvel, I think Spider-Man's definitely the top.
but it's also funny how both of them have in their gallery also have some really stupid villains too.
They all do, though. They all do.
But they're recognizable because I think they deal with Spider-Man and Batman.
There's also a Teen Titans set coming out soon on the DC side for Dice Masters. So
It's gonna be interesting after seeing what they, the deck, because there are many different iterations of the Titans. So I'm very curious to see.
I think it's Teen Titans Go. I think that's what they're calling it.
Oh, so it's gonna be the cartoon. That's gonna be interesting because I know that's a very polarizing subject for a lot of fans.
We'll see. We'll see. That comes out soon. I think that comes out actually before Spider-Man. I don't know how they keep pumping these things out. They just must have like a sweatshop.
They found the dice mine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They found the gold dice
They've
mine.
got kids digging for dice on underground.
You remember in Jurassic Park when they hold up the amber
what it
they're
is.
holding up dice and that's welcome to Dice Park.
Well, we've also got some big news before Dice Park opens regarding the game Risk. Risk is getting a big change next year. Are you excited?
You just mean it's gonna look different.
Well, a little bit, kind of. There's a little
Okay.
more to it.
All right.
So as you can see, there's this brand new set of Risk that they announced that's coming out. They've made the board and all the pieces. It kind of, to me, looks like a retro vibe. It looks like they're going for that old
Well,
school
I think
look.
with Risk, that's sort of.
That's their
It
shtick.
fits for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how they want to get people in.
Well, I mean, also it's like what you expect. The game is about old military conquest. You don't.
It's an old game.
It is, but I mean, like a lot of it makes sense for the world conquest with when you're using like cavalry and stuff. I mean, nowadays,
Right.
A lot
There's
more
horses.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like there's much because I think with technology stuff, I don't expect Risk regularly to happen.
The
Just
future the next set will just be drones.
no, it just needs to be like. You're gonna say you're gonna do a drone attack, and then you have to spend an hour like politically debating why.
It would be like it could be the Cold War edition of Risk.
Okay.
I don't know. That's Twilight Struggle. Anyway, there's also though they're going to be adding mission cards, which I think have been in other versions.
I think so.
But they're reintroducing them for a new base set of Risk, where people will have secret objectives. So there
Like
will be a
cold
little bit
displacer.
more. There more stuff to it than just your typical Risk where everyone knows the strategies and that kind of thing. So that's cool, I guess. It's Risk. I don't know.
I wonder if that's in our Risk Legacy. Like, I don't know because there's so many other pouches.
I don't think it is.
There
You're
could
right.
be.
Anything could be in
Anything
there.
could be in there.
Anything.
What's in there?
But if you know, then you know that
Don't tell
they
us.
aren't. Yeah, that's most of our news. As I said, there's more stuff coming out of Essen, but we'll get it as it trickles
Yep.
in. I think you got some Kickstarters for us.
We do.
So why don't you head us off with that dinosaur game that I don't know what it's called? The Great Dinosaur Rush?
Yes,
There it
that's
is.
right. And you see it playing behind us. What this is pretty much playing on is pretty much the big rush of the interest in dinosaur and
The great
paleontology.
one.
Yeah. Well, in the past, like just to rush and get your skeleton done. So a lot of this is you instead of collecting. I know we talked about games similar in specific dinosaurs, like you get the T-Rex card to build all 3 T-Rex pieces. Instead, you sort of have more like a play mat, and like you need to get blue pieces to build the spine, green pieces for the head. So it's like it's much more loose, I think, and you don't need specifically the T-Rex head.
You can be more creative.
Which actually I think works in a lot more with the timeline because they didn't have any idea what they're building. So like we all know the Brontosaurus, which wasn't a dinosaur because apparently it was on a Apatosaurus head, but now it is a dinosaur. It's crazy with paleontology.
Nobody knows.
A
what they're
Spinosaurus
doing.
has a whole crazy thing,
They're all a bunch of hacks.
which
let's
is,
be honest.
which is really cool. But in this, you're also stealing from your opponents their bones too, and like trading
Stealing
and stuff.
their bones.
So there's it has a lot more of a fun sort of political digging up, but also like I have an extra green bone. Would you like it? Like, or taking from someone. So it's a lot more. You're trying to build your own dinosaur, but you have to worry that opponents are building theirs too.
All right, it
So-
sounds like fun. It
Yeah.
sounds like fun. When is the game going to come out where there's actual,
Dinosaur bones in it?
or just like models that you can actually put together? That's not really feasible. I don't know. It could be.
Well, the miniature game will come out. It'll cost $200.
Yeah, you can just get cards, or for like an extra $400, you get these modeled.
I mean, I would love it, but and then of course it comes with the expansion of real life events. For example, World War II happens, which destroyed the Spinosaurus skeleton. So then you lose all your bones.
Well, it sounds great.
That actually happened. That's actually why the Spinosaurus, no one knew anything really about it. Apparently, the first skeleton found pieces were all destroyed in World War II.
Well, dinosaurs. So that's why you gotta get the Great Dinosaur Rush, because
Yeah.
if you don't, it will be all the information in it will be obsolete before you buy it.
I should mention, if you
Yeah.
did back, you probably got emails from them. I think it's called Spirit of the Rice Patty, which I did. You actually get a discount off this game.
Ape Games?
Yes, same people. So you get a discount off this, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's nice when they
I
do
like that
kind
idea.
of stuff.
I like the idea of if you backed our previous Kickstarter, we're already giving you a discount on this. So it's sort of I think it makes a good sense to keep backing the game, especially if you expect to see it. If it's a game you expect to see in general retail,
Right.
because then you are getting that discount
Yeah, it's a good incentive.
Yes.
Little extra incentive.
outside of the exclusiveness.
Right. We've got another one here that's pirate themed,
Oh.
because there aren't enough of those games just yet. I think
Hey, it's not Zombies or Cthulhu.
yeah, but it's getting up there. I think it's starting to happen. It's called Privateers, and this one sounded cool to me because I'm not tired yet of pirates, although I think that may
You said
quickly
close.
happen. Yeah, close. So what's cool about this game makes it a little bit different from all those other pirate games. The theme does also involve things like aliens and other monsters and creatures. So there's a fantasy element here. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a spin. And the way it works is everybody starts with you choose a captain and a boat, and you go out in the world and you can upgrade your ship, and it's a modular board. So there's tiles, so every time you play, you can have
map.
different random layouts, different events will happen, and you're pirates, you're exploring and you're fighting each other. It's basically the gist of it. But if it sounds really cool, it also has solo play, and it has co-op modes and team battle modes. So there's a lot of different things that you can get out of it if you're into pirates and it sounds cool. I would recommend checking it out. It's called Privateers. It's on the old Kickstarter right now.
All right. Well, there's two great Kickstarters to check out.
And so that's most of our stuff. That's our, we got our stuff out of the way. Now
Got our stuff out of the way.
Now, if you're still watching, it's time for the deep cuts. Ready?
No, it's not.
So first things first. There's one game we played last week that I thought would be fun to chat about, and that is the Tales of Arabian Nights.
Yes.
Which is a fun storytelling exploration adventure game.
This is, I believe, your fourth time playing it. Or
I
third?
don't know. We've
I know
played it
it's only my
before.
second.
They don't need numbers.
But pretty much you each start as a character in Baghdad.
Sure.
I think it's Baghdad, and it pretty much is sort of it's almost a sum up of all the tales from Tales of Arabian Nights, like all the different folklore.
Yeah, there's
of
genies, there's all the kinds of
general
mythology,
Middle East area.
demons, yeah.
And you are each given a personal quest, but really the main goal is you can get story and destiny points, and first one to get, depending on, I think it's a total of 15 for what we use.
20 usually.
And then go back to Baghdad. So you don't really need to finish your personal quest. You can, it helps a lot.
It's basically, there's a big book, and depending on where you land, it'll tell someone else where to read in the book.
Right.
And they'll tell you something that happens to you. And it's basically a big choose your own adventure game. There's it's competitive, but you're really playing it for the experience.
Yeah, well, it's about making your story. I think it's the big thing. That's why it was a lot of fun, even if, for example, you get trapped in being someone's slave for the entire
That's what I want to
game.
talk about, because this game is not a balanced game. It's maybe something like Betrayal at House on the Hill in that sense, where you're playing for the experience, and it can happen where nothing goes right for you, which has happened for me two games in a row. Basically, there's certain events that can just prevent you from winning outright. And this time around, I was, as you said, enslaved. And
Because you followed a magic hunchback, I believe.
Yeah, I think I tried to get help from him, or I tried to talk to him, and I ended up becoming his slave. And that was like the second turn of the game.
Yeah, and what happens is when you have the slave ability, you have to choose another player.
Ability.
Sorry.
Affliction.
Affliction. Thank
Status.
you. You have to choose another player, and anytime you would gain an item, wealth, I think,
Or
not wealth,
points towards winning.
The player gets it instead.
Someone else gets it, not me. So all my turns, I'm basically boosting someone else, and the only way I can get rid of it is if I gain wealth through a story,
Which you never got.
which never happened. And the thing is, there's no way really to predict what's going to happen to you. So you can't be like, oh, I'm really going to try to get this specific trait or something, because you can try, but it's never going to go the way you want it to.
Which is a shame, because I think otherwise, I mean, I know your other games, and I know the 2 times I've played it, even though I know in this one they sort of I had McScooter my own way, not as bad as you, but
Oh yeah, yours was pretty hilarious.
I got pretty much hated in a town in which if I were to go into this
You became
town,
an outlaw there.
Yeah, if I were to go in this town, I automatically get arrested. Which at the same time of getting the outlaw perk, I saved my love interest and got married. In which I didn't know this. The place I was in, which happened to be that town, is now my hometown. In which, if I have an event in any other town, I have to return there. So pretty much, if I had an event in another town, I have to go home to get arrested and see my wife.
You chose to get married and settle down in the one place in the entire map that will get you arrested if you go there.
Well, she is my ball and chain, literally.
So that was I think that pretty much prevented you from, because you were about to win.
No, I was gonna win, but I got locked up. It wasn't that one thing because I already had enough points
It was
anyway.
a series of unfortunate
Yeah,
events.
but I didn't mind losing that one because I have a lot of fun just exploring, and I think really the slave card, because that just makes things lots fun.
Yeah,
Otherwise, usually it's fun because even though I know another problem you have was the sex change, in which you can't win if you get sex changed.
So you have to spend the entire game praying you get changed back.
But you at the very least you're still exploring and finding things and doing things.
Right, I'm not just giving other people my stuff.
Yeah, that's why I think it's really that one. And
I still love the game, and like when that happens once, it's funny and I'm fine. It's just that if you have the bad luck where it happens to you like every time you play, then it starts to become just.
Well, then we probably house. Yeah, absolutely.
Because
no
this
question.
is so.
Because
but otherwise, I mean, it's a hilarious game to play.
No,
with
I
friends.
really like it. It's also it's a mythology and storyline that for most people outside of Aladdin.
Yeah,
most people really haven't
just not get explored very often.
No, and that's why I really like it. It's definitely, even in some of the words that like ghoul, I know it was gula. We weren't sure about, which just means female ghoul.
Different terms.
And I just think it's just something that it's fun to dive into because it's not something we know very well.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool, and it's just plus I also like just the mechanics, the idea of just like coming out. So you found a burning house. I'm going to drink.
Yeah, they give you a set of verbs, and sometimes they don't seem to apply.
And sometimes they turn out to work out really well.
Or sometimes it's like, oh, there's a guy, I'll ask him for help, and it turns out he hates you, and he robs you, and he kills you.
It's
like, what? I was trying to help him.
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely it's definitely a game, though. I also think if we were to house rule, it doesn't ruin the game either.
It's
because like you said, the
open
game
house ruling.
is about writing the story, which actually was your quest.
Yeah. So anyway, we have other stuff to get to, but that's Tales of the Arabian Nights. So check that out if you're into storytelling games. It is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Before we get to our final subject that we want to talk about, we did have one piece of viewer mail.
Oh yeah.
That came from YouTube user Rapture's Demise. I hope I'm getting the name right because it was fun. And they wanted to know, what is that Asian-looking game behind us underneath Boss Monster 2? And we're going to give you the scoop on it right now.
That is actually, and here's the title in English, The Little Witches and the Mysterious House.
The Little Witches and the Mysterious House.
Should be something around
it's
that.
Japanese,
I might be
believe.
getting like The Little Witches or something. But the whole idea is you are witches who all went to a magic academy, and you're passing. This is like the final test. So one person plays as the teacher, the rest as all the students, and each student has a familiar, which you're actually attached to by a string. So it comes with a little paper and string.
Literal strings.
Literal strings. Literal strings. And actually, each string is different. It's because each character has different abilities. Like, I think the dwarf has a shorter string but can, like, pick up more things and stuff. So, like, color matters. And the teacher is pretty much doing a test in which they're pretty much doing little footprints where they're leaving a trail of clues, and they're trying to finish a magic circle. But they can't drop anything where a witch is, with other players standing, a witch. So your goal as the witch is to find out where the magic circle's, like what the pattern's going to be, and to stop them from doing it. You have 7 turns to stop them. And then it actually has a point scale at the end in which you're given a grade. But there are 2 modes. There's good teacher, in which you play as a group, so you win or fail as a group. Then there's mean teacher, in which deals out assignments.
That's the one with Cameron Diaz as the guest stars.
In which each student then has a personal assignment, which gives them personal points instead of just the group points. And some of them could be get the group to fail. So there is a traitor mechanic in this cute little game.
Draco Malfoy. I don't know.
But I picked it up at Board Game Geek Con. I mean, as you can tell, it's not from.
It's not in English.
Yes,
so.
It actually came with English instructions, though.
But it's not the kind of thing you're going to pick up in Toys R Us.
Yeah. As far as I know, there is not a translated version. The instruction, like I said, the thing came with English, I think English, French, I think German, as well as Japanese instructions. Like I said, it looked really cool with the strings and moving around and stuff.
I feel like maybe I did hear something about they're making a localized version a while ago. I don't know.
Currently, I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
But that's the game in essence. It's just a small game. It's 9 and up. I think it's 10 to 20 minutes per person, so it's not a very long game.
So they said they have a weakness for anime-related games. You think it will scratch that itch for this?
Oh yeah. Well, no, it definitely. I mean, just look at the artwork of it. It's that sort of chibi-ish style artwork. While there is a traitor mechanic, like I said, it really isn't too aggressive of a game, or especially if you do the good mode. Like I said, you're supposed
certainly sounds unique.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a unique game. It's one of the reasons why I usually when I see games like these, I pick them up in another language because I'm like, what are the chances I'm going to come across this and see how board games are treated in other cultures? I mean, though usually at least from what I've seen, if anything else usually gets printed into English, because most of the European games do hit English marketing. It's usually just Japanese and Chinese culture. Most of the non-European cultures where we're not going to see them.
So support them, and maybe we'll see more of them come out over here. I don't know.
Maybe, and there's plenty more.
Like
I know they had a lot more at sale there. I just picked up this one because they're expensive.
Yeah, at the Little Witches and the Mysterious House or something like that. So look it up. Hopefully
that's actually part of it, and something like that.
Something like that. Last time we have last thing of the show. We got a little mini topic of the week.
Yeah,
I know you wanted to discuss something with me.
I was thinking because I actually saw someone else talking about when it came to. I was watching a video of someone talking. I forget who about Star Wars Imperial Assault, in which they have a copy, and they like the game. But the thing is, they never play theirs. They play their friends, and it made me think if there are games that you might own that like you buy not even though you know a friend has it and you're likely to play their copy. Mm-hmm. Do you own because you know you want it on your shelf?
Games that are so good that you want a copy just for yourself,
right?
Even if you're not going to play it.
Yeah.
Or if someone you know already has it.
Yeah. That usually is the main case because or I guess this could be the situation in which you don't really have anyone around you to play with as well. But I feel like a lot of this times this comes up more if someone else already owns it.
Yeah, I mean I got plenty of games that meet that criteria. Well, I know for you. I know you have a couple. So what?
Yeah. I think. Well, from what I've thought about, it sort of falls in 2 categories. Mm-hmm. There are games I've bought because I think they are good and I could play with, like if I have a family over and something. This would fall under. I bought Betrayal: House on the Hill after I played at your house because I thought I just loved that game.
Right, they're the games that.
This is also before we both really.
You want to like usually you have a core gaming group, so if there's a game that you might want to play with other people when that person who has it won't be around.
Right. I think the other examples of this, though, I own these. I'm the one who was first on to own these, so they don't count, but they would if you did, if someone else did. Really, It's usually you.
Yeah.
But Camelot, Dixit, like the games I could easily play with my
it's really family games.
Yeah. The other category, and this is usually where the things become more pricier, is the games that hit a sort of a copyright or not the copyright,
a licensed
a
property.
licensed property
adapted.
that is really close to me. In particular, right now, the ones I own that are currently double owned and I'm almost certain will become triple owned between our core group is the Alien and Predator Legendary sets.
Yeah, because we all really love Legendary, and we're all fans of Alien.
Yeah, the reason why I know it's gonna currently our friend Neil has both Alien and so do I. We both got them pretty much at the same time.
You've seen them before.
You don't yet, but odds are you will, because you are the one who truly has the core Legendary set of the Marvel.
Right, I've got all the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, and in fact, I usually often use gifts to get you the promos and stuff, because it makes sense that you have the core, and it almost feels guilty that you don't have those yet. Like, you will have them eventually.
No, I do. I mean, Alien is definitely like, I really thought about buying it, but I just like two people I know are going to have copies. Do I really need one for myself? But at some point, probably, especially because it has a solo mode too. Yeah. That's a plus.
And the only other one that I can think of that's happened to me owning twice that I can think of is actually the Ghostbusters. I backed it for the special edition version. And that's just because I love Ghostbusters.
Okay, and Neil's getting a copy as well. You also have.
But he got a lot more of the figures. I really just got the special edition.
If I'm not mistaken, you have Love Letter and Hanabi, which are also doubles that I have.
Well, I have this. The Hanabi is actually I have the
Hanabi Deluxe.
The Deluxe.
That's true. I mean, same difference, sort of.
But yeah, but those fall. I think those would fall under the.
Catan is another one. Any game like that's probably
usually
no matter what.
any of the what we call gateway games. Usually, but I feel like that one's by accident. Like that one isn't because like Jonathan owns it. I own it. Like,
right. It's just because so early on. We just bought them because
like Betrayal was like on the edge of that. Like that was definitely early on before we really
had a group going.
We died.
That we met. Yeah.
When we really got into when we decided to get into the deep end of the board game.
Yeah, world. I don't think I really have as many. I know I have, like I always talk about, I have games where I think if, and I don't think it will ever happen, but like if in some hypothetical situation I were to move away, or you were to move away, like what games would I need to buy because I would miss playing them?
Yeah, no, the legendaries, like this is one we've talked about. I would feel very sad because I'm like, I love playing that. I mean,
for me, it's like there's some staples. Like I feel like King of Tokyo, Ticket to Ride. Probably a few others. Like I really like Mage Knight.
No, I love
copy of that.
that
we don't get to play that often.
Enough.
I know.
No, we don't.
Other games like that, but usually I'm very. I like to own things. So usually I'm like, or usually if there's a game we both want, it's always like, which one of us gets to buy it because the other one won't want to buy it.
No, I completely understand, and that happens. And that's why it's usually.
Have it on your shelf.
I think the fun one is though with Kickstarter. Because there'd be times when one of us like, ooh, maybe I'll back to see like your friend Neil or Will has backed it.
Neil's always the one who will. I'll want something, and Neil's backed every game that I wanted back. So I'm just like, forget it. I'll just play Neil's copy. Who cares?
No, I know like another one. I don't think you own this yet, unless I'm wrong. But it's Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Yeah, I really wanted that. Then Neil got it, and I was like, it's not like we're ever gonna play it anyway with the campaign mode. It'll take forever.
But I'm very curious on like how much this, like you said, usually you need to own it and by someone else. Is there any properties or things that you would definitely like no matter what go over the?
I mean, Marvel's a big one for sure.
No, I mean,
I'm trying to think if there was something.
But you also are I think that helps that you are truly the cornerstone of Marvel. Like no one is like usually if anything comes to Marvel, we all look to you.
Right.
It's never a disputed property.
I got it. Yeah, I mean Firefly for sure. If that wasn't already out, I gotta have all that stuff like that I'm real passionate about.
No, you've been very lucky. I think outside of Alien and the Star Wars, you've been your copyrights.
I grabbed them when I got.
Also, I should also mention your copyrights have been good.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't think. I haven't seen one. You can tell me if you have, but I don't think we've seen a good Transformers board game yet.
There might be one out there.
A hidden one, but not like a new one.
Certainly not a good Godzilla game. No, unfortunately.
No, I mean, I think it's
There
possible.
is a really good Nintendo game.
Though I hate, King of Tokyo, I think fills that point
Yeah,
pretty
it's
close.
close enough.
It's very close, so I'm not too hurt.
Well,
also Rampage, which I need to try out, which
Terror
I have.
in Meeple
Terror in
City, you
Meeple
mean.
City. I'm sorry.
If you let us know what your thoughts are, if you have games like that your friends own that you had to own yourself, whether it's for family reasons or just you had to have it for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
is there a property that you think no matter how many people, if everyone in your group owns it, you got to have your copy?
Yeah, because we identify.
Or is there, even if it's not even just a property, just a game that you just, you need to have on your shelf?
Yeah. Please, we want to hear it. We will review and read some of your comments or questions that you have on the show. You can leave a comment on YouTube or email us, rollforcrit@gmail.com.
And of course, there's Twitter, @rollforcrit, and our personal Twitter.
Yeah, which you'll see on the screen around us. And don't forget, rollforcrit.com. We sell lots of great games, like some of the ones we talked about today, Legendary, King of Tokyo, all that stuff. There's some great new ones coming out all the time recently, it seems like. We got Mysterium, and we got Ashes, and the new Game of Thrones 2nd edition. Tons of stuff, plus more videos and podcasts like this one. So stay tuned, keep up, subscribe, like, follow, obey. I'm Jonathan Estes.
I'm Will Keeler, and this has been Roll for Crit.